Hey guys, you got the Chevy Cummins swap here. Lots of updates to show you guys. First off, I'm going to start off with the 6-inch exhaust tip that I got mounted on there. It wasn't too bad after some reducers and some different pipe extensions and some different exhaust adapters and clamps. And I got the Cummins diamond plate decals, got them off eBay for 12 bucks. I got the 3500 newer series decals, got them on eBay for about $15. I'm taking off dash pieces right now. I'm gonna hydro dip them, and this is all gonna be turned into wood grain. You just dip them in a tank here. My dad does it. He's got the kits and everything. He just does it in a tote or the bathtub. I mean, do camouflage, skulls, whatever you want. I'm putting cherry wood grain. I'm doing the gauge cluster here. And these door handle pieces. And my turbo boost gauge pod. I got a gauge pod for a boost. This is the gauge for the boost I got off eBay for $14. Goes up to 30 PSI, and it's also got vacuum, but I don't need that. But yeah, I've got the boost I've yet to install. Let's see here. Hang on, let me plug my phone in real quick so it don't die on you guys. I'm charging my phone. Alrighty. I don't remember if I told you guys or not, but I got this off eBay for $35. I'm going to run a BHAF right here, connect it right straight to it. As far as everything else, I got a fan hub bearing and pulley for $52 on eBay. I got the Cummins 4BT one, that way I didn't have to spend the $300 and some 6BT one, because this one don't have the threads on for the mechanical fan. Well, I'm going to run electric anyway, so that saved me some money. I had this bracket laying around off a Chevy 350 Marine motor that I rebuilt. I believe this is an alternator bracket. But as you can see, I cut it and ground it, and I kind of ground the alternator a little bit, but just in case it don't hurt it. I had to drill out this bottom hole in the alternator so I could slide the bolt through. Put a nut on the back side. This alternator is not going anywhere. I thought I'd have to make a bracket from here to here to reinforce it more, but it's not going anywhere. I need to go on eBay, and I need to get an 8-rib alternator pulley. GM requires, the correct one to run the GM tachometer is 2 5/8, so that's what I'm going to get, and that'll give me an accurate reading. The one on this actually isn't even 2 5/8, right straight from GM. This is the original GM alternator. I have even though this was a 6.5 diesel powered truck, I have a 6.2 diesel sending unit in here that I wired up over here. This is the 3 wires right here. This is the 3 wires that came out of the plug that goes into for your oil pressure plug that plugs into the sensor. What I did was I taped this gray one and this orange one up. I don't need these. The orange is power for the lift pump, and the gray is ground for the lift pump. Obviously I don't need that anymore because the Cummins has mechanical lift pump. This tan one right here, that's the one that gets your oil pressure reading. So I just wired that up over here, hooked that up. I have an NPT reducer back there. Coolant one just plugs in. I just extended the wire. I got another NPT reducer right here. Screwed the fitting from the boost straight into it, so my boost will work. I still need to hook up grid heater and whatnot and little things. And as you know, the GM one, the GM for your power steering, it has 2 return lines, and the Dodge one only has one. So instead of cutting and drilling a hole in the housing and brazing it on the line and everything, I'm just going to take a T-fitting and put a T-fitting in the line and hook up two for the return and do it that way. Other than that, these are the NPT fittings. My dad just got a bunch of them from work. This is what you will need. A lot of people leave this stuff out. This is you know, very, very important part that people get confused about. Alright, this is an NPT fitting. Notice how it's got a smaller hole. It's a reducer. Alright, for the coolant one, you are going to need a 3/4 inch male end right here, 3/4 inch at 3/8 inside diameter. If you get that adapter, or you get that fitting 3/4 inch by 3/8, your GM1 will screw right in, no problem. This boost one, boost gauges kind of vary. The boost one I have is a 1/4 inch by 1/8, and then my boost screws right into it. Obviously, just go to O'Reilly's, get a 6.2 diesel sending unit, screws right in there. Or you can screw it in the factory location, it's up to you. The factory location is actually probably a little better, but doesn't make that big of a difference. As for everything else, yeah, I'm in the process of it, of figuring out grounds to positives and whatnot for the batteries, to hook up the batteries. I got to put my hood on, the grill. I've got to order an intercooler. I've got to order all new body mount bushings. I need to order a thermostat control fan controller, and then I need to get this alternator pulley. eBay, 20 bucks. Or if you go to your local salvage yard, one off of a lot of the Fords will work, like a 5.4 Triton or a 4.6 Mustang or something similar to that, as long as it's 8 rib, proper diameter, and preferably you want 2 5/8. Otherwise, if you don't get 2 5/8, your RPMs will be a little off. I still need to get a new grill. I'm not going to put that other grill back on. I'm going to get a brand new front bumper and a good used rear bumper. I also need to get this throttle linkage. I don't like it. I've got to change something there with the throttle linkage. This is just a universal one at O'Reilly's, and I don't like it at all. It's not working like it should. So I've got to find a different route to go to there. As for the GM alternator, I've just cut wires, just wire knotted them together for right now, and then extended them over here from where I cut the harness, from where it came from, and then just plugged it in just like how it's, you know, just the factory way. The only issue you would have about doing this is if you're driving down the road and your alternator goes out and you don't have a drill in your truck. Cordless drill with a right size drill, but because before you put the new alternator on, you would have to drill that hole out again. It'll probably piss the people at the alternator place off pretty bad when they get cores back and this hole's drilled out, you know. But yeah, I would just buy an alternator and keep it in the truck that's already drilled out, or keep it on your shelf in your garage or whatever. It's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, as far as that, other than that, I haven't got much further. I've been staying real busy. I had a 6.0 Power Stroke come in. I had to put a full 4-inch exhaust on, and grid heater, change alternator, a couple other knick-knack things. But yeah, it's just, I've been building this 351 Windsor engine over there. I built that for a customer. I got to put it in his vehicle soon. I've got an Aztec sitting out there with needs head gaskets, a Duramax that has an air leak, a Cummins that has an air leak and also needs to be painted. Just an S10 that I rebuilt the transmission for in a customer, but he was too cheap to put in a torque converter. Well, guess what? Now 6 months later, the torque converter is so worn that it's spewing out transmission fluid out of the front. And yes, when I rebuilt the transmission, I replaced the pump, seal, and bushing. But now, because the torque converter is so out of spec, I've got to replace those again and put a new torque converter on. All because the customer failed to do it right the first time. But yeah, I'm going to get these in the house, and I'm going to hydro dip them. So I will keep you guys updated. Have a good one.